Hi. Hello. I probably should have put socks on first before I started filming. Ouchie. Oh. I hit my ankle bone. I just got PTSD to fucking razor scooters. Fuck me. Well, hi. Hello. It is Maya. Welcome back to my channel. Feels weird as fuck saying that after like an entire year of not filming. Let me start off by saying I did not plan for that to happen. I don't think anybody who enjoys doing YouTube would, but you know, sometimes life just comes and does really mean things to you. I am just gonna be doing my makeup really quick, nothing fancy. I don't think I've done anything fancy since COVID. That's a lie, I have, but my routine basically hasn't changed, so I'm not really going to be talking much about what I'm using or what I'm doing. I am quite simply just going to be speaking about some things that have happened over the last year. And even still with that, I don't think I'm going to really get into specifics, only because it is something that like really negatively affected my life. And I just do not feel comfortable telling people exactly what is happening or what was happening, but I am comfortable with being vague enough that you get the gist of how negatively it affected my life. I guess to start off, Jesus Christ, like I feel like I need to like go all the way back to the beginning. Let's go back to summer of 2021. I'll just start there. Oh, that's another thing. I'm not like closing up my ears or anything. Obviously, I don't think that's ever going to happen in my life. They always shrink in the wintertime. Usually in the summertime, if I leave them out for like 2 or 3 days, I can size back up again like within a week. But in the wintertime, if I leave them out for 2 or 3 days, basically I shouldn't even try to size back up because it's just like fucking impossible. So anyways, yeah, let's go back to like summer of 2021. I lose my health insurance. Fun. Love that. So that puts me in like a little spiral. And then a month later, I have tinnitus or tinnitus, whatever you would like to call that. And that flared up horrifically to the point where I fell into a very, very deep depression. Pretty much from like August to January, it was just screeching nonstop, which I'm like typically used to that. However, it was extra loud just for the longest time. And like I didn't do anything to like spike it. I literally just, sorry, I'm messing with the settings. I didn't do anything to spike it. I literally just living my life. So it was just completely unavoidable. It put me in a really bad depression. So then January comes around and I'm like, I'm tired of being depressed. I tried going on medication. Side effects from that, could not handle it. Normally I'm pretty good with like medications and stuff, but the one that they tried putting me on, nope. I did not like feeling like I was walking in a tunnel with hands cupped over my ears 24/7. I was just like, I'm not gonna be doing this for another like 2 months. Like, it's just not gonna happen. I said, fuck that. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I know is good for me, aka I'm gonna start filming again. I'm gonna start working out again. I'm gonna stop feeling sorry for myself. And that was good for like 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure the last vlog that I posted, or the last video, whatever video vlog that I posted, was around that time where I was just like, okay, I'm gonna start working out again, like gotta, you know, get better. And then mid-February, so basically exactly a year ago, weird symptoms start happening in my body to the point where I am in pain, uncomfortable, and stressed out and have anxiety 24/7. And looking back at things now, realistically, I remember bits and pieces of the last year. I don't remember everything, which of course nobody does, but the difference is that things that I feel like I should remember, I don't. And so I very much think that because my body, hello, Elowen, because my body was in like a fight or flight response for 90% of the year, and by 90%, I mean like 95% of the year, I think I have some like trauma-induced memory loss, so that's fun. I genuinely, get out of my bread. Stop licking it. Oh, I think she was just licking the butter, which is better, but I also have oatmeal that I'm not eating. That is how bad things were. I literally was in fight or flight mode the entire year, because the thing that's really annoying is that when these symptoms started happening, I kind of left it for like maybe a week, and then I went to the walk-in clinic at Walgreens, and they were like, we don't know what's going on. And I'm like, cool. Because that's the thing, it was symptoms where they're painful and debilitating, but I thought it was something else. I thought it was like when you Google things, it'd be like, oh, it could just be like this, that's like causing like major symptoms. Like a minor thing that causes major symptoms, but it's an easy fix, you know? Something that I could go to the walk-in clinic for. Another like week or two passes, it's still not going away. I'm like, what the fuck? I go to an urgent care, because I'm thinking like, okay, they have like a little bit more things. I don't have insurance, so I don't want to go to the fucking ER and get a $5,000 bill. Go to the urgent care. They diagnosed me with 2 things, and I'm like, okay, well, that's cool, but these 2 things don't seem to be what is causing my symptoms. And so I asked them, I was just like, well, can those like cause what I'm feeling right now? And she looked very uncertain. She's like, well, it's possible, but so I got diagnosed for something that like I didn't go in there for, essentially, because I get the medication for it, those 2 things go away, and nothing changes. So at this point, I'm like, what the fuck? I think we're into March at this point, like mid-March, and I make an appointment with my doctor. And I'm like, help me out, buddy, because I don't know what's happening. He runs some tests. All of them are negative. And he's basically just like, I don't know, I'll refer you to a different doctor. Which, I know I sound very much like all these doctors are just like brushing me aside, but like when I say that they just like didn't know what was going on, they just didn't know. It's not their fault. I like my doctor. I'm very happy that he was like, I don't know, I'm sorry, like we'll figure it out, but here's somebody else in the meantime who maybe like who does specialize in like those things better. So then I think my first appointment I wasn't able to get in till like end of April. So mind you, this entire time I'm still dying. I don't remember any of these months. And speaking of dying, that sounds horrible. That is another thing that happened. So in the midst of me being in pain 24/7, I now have all these responsibilities landed back on me, and I'm working 6 days a week, and I'm trying to do the schedule, and I'm severely depressed and dying. So yeah, that was another thing that happened, and I'm gonna go back to my hospital visit. Had the thing with my other doctor middle of March, wasn't able to get into a specialist until the end of April. Go there, they run all these tests. Cool. They found something. At this point, I'm like, all right, let's start some physical therapy. Started physical therapy end of April, and I've been in it since. I think I'm just not doing my makeup at all. I might not even do my makeup in this video. Who knows? Ooh. All I remember from April to like mid-June is lots and lots of medication. I was probably, I think, on 3 to 4 things at once, on top of going to physical therapy 3 times a week. Any memories I have of last year, they're all just like medical related. I don't remember like my actual medical related, and then like bits and pieces of things, which is awful. Let's see, I go back at the end of June to like run more tests, but I'm still having these symptoms. And so I'm like, okay, I'm literally just going to like wait things out. You know, like my body's been through a lot of trauma. You know, like you have to have time to heal. The body is a very weird thing. Sometimes it'll just take months. So I'm still doing like the physical therapy things at this point, but things are just not getting better. It kind of is, but it's slow enough where I'm like, okay, there's got to be something else up. So then I make an appointment, I think around like the beginning of November, so that I can go in at the beginning of December and they can run more tests again. That's when they finally decide to tell me, okay, well, haha, you've been like suffering for an entire fucking year, like literally 11 months straight. So now we're gonna actually start giving you the options of like medical things and pills and procedures that you can possibly do that like might make things better. I'm like, that's awesome. Why didn't you suggest this, I don't know, back in like the fucking fall? Or why didn't you let me know about these things back in June when I went for my follow-up appointment? Like, I like literally even asked. I was just like, what is something that I can do? Like, is there anything else? It was just annoying. I was just like, why did you have to wait so fucking long? Which, like, granted, I did wait long because I had my last appointment in like June-ish, and then it was July actually. I don't know. Either way, I did wait a long time, but that's just because I was just like, okay, well, they told me the thing that was wrong with me is gone, so what else is there for me to do? You know? So it's just kind of annoying. I wish that they would have told me like, okay, well, if you're still experiencing symptoms a month or 2 from now, make an appointment, you know? So then I go back, they tell me we can start doing these procedures. This is like beginning of December. And then I had my first one scheduled at the end of December. And literally a week before I'm supposed to have it done, they call me and they're like, oh, you don't have insurance, so we're going to need a down payment of $2,000 for this procedure. And I'm like, they called me on a Wednesday, and my appointment was the next Wednesday. And they're like, we need this by Friday. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? I'm like, excuse me? First of all, why are you calling me a week before my fucking appointment when 2 weeks ago I let y'all know that I don't have insurance and that I would be paying things out of pocket? Why didn't you let me know that there's a down payment then? Like, it was just so ridiculous. And that happened 2 more times after that, and I was just like, y'all are fucking annoying as shit. But I ended up canceling that one because I was just like, you know what? That was just like it was like an internal thing where they just had to like look at things, and I was just like, well, that's not a procedure. That's just you doing one last like final step to like make sure that things are like okay, I guess, or like make sure it's not something specific causing it. And I'm just like, you know what, fuck that. I'm just gonna go like right into doing the procedures and shit. But then it happened again with that. They're like, you don't have insurance, so we're gonna need like down payments for that. And it's gonna be $500 per procedure. And I'm like, why don't you guys fucking tell me these things when I make the appointment? Why do you have to tell me literally 1 week before the appointment? And I kind of snapped on them. I'm sorry. I had to go Karen mode. I had to, because I was just like, this is very inconvenient. I'm like, you guys know that I don't use insurance. I was like, it's literally in my chart stating that I do not have insurance. I was like, so why is it that you guys are calling me very last minute, wanting these payments within 2 days? The fact of the matter is that, like, do I have the money? Yes, because I budgeted shit and I fucking have money saved up. That's whatever. It's the whole point of, like, why is this so last minute? And they had the caucasity to say that they called me like twice beforehand. And I'm like, no, you didn't. She's like, well, Sally left a message for you. I'm like, Sally didn't leave me shit. Okay? Because had she done that, I would have given y'all a call back immediately and been like, okay, here's my credit card info. Sorry, I'm so used to dealing with people in, like, the medical field, and I know they have to deal with, like, ridiculous, rude-ass bitches, but at the same time, don't do shit last minute, and then don't fucking lie about it. Like, it's so ridiculous. Anyways, those procedures have been what my January has looked like, and I've also had, like, the worst month of my life. You know, my birthday month. Awesome. But it did give me the push that I needed. Oh my god, my voice. It did give me the push that I needed to finally start therapy. I had my first session yesterday. There's just another thing that I'm gonna go in debt over because, you know, no insurance. Paying out of pocket for it is fine for me because my mental health is shit. I have horrible coping mechanisms. I'm at the point in my life where I've kind of just accepted the fact that I'm going to be living with this chronic pain and uncomfortableness for the rest of my life. So I need better coping skills because I am gonna be honest with you guys. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I had the worst fucking, like, coping mechanism last year, aka drinking way too much. Drinking way too much and then just, like, eating shitty food. Because what do both of those things do? Makes you very fucking happy for a very short amount of time, and then you just want to keep going back to it. But, like, in my defense, I was too much in pain to, like, do the normal things that I actually enjoyed doing, and if I was drinking, I could just forget about it. I also just had, like, so many other random medical things. Like, I've had an ear infection 3 times last year, which that's common for me. However, no, I think I had one 4 times. I don't know. It's common for me, but I'm very much used to, like, I get an ear infection like 1 to 2 times a year, not 3 to 4 times. I was sick like every other fucking month. I swear to God, I pulled my neck like 2 fucking times. I had a weird dizzy vertigo spell that left me very disoriented for like 2 months straight. I got esophagitis. So yeah, you know, just like an entire year straight of medical problems. And that's not to say that, like, the entirety of last year was bad, you know. I tried doing things more even though I was in pain all the time. Let's see. I built 2 computers last year. Well, me and my boyfriend did, but whatever. Either way, I built something from scratch. And you know what? It is kind of scary just because you don't want to, like, fuck things up, but it's actually, like, a lot easier than you would expect it to be. So yeah, I built two computers. One for him and then one for me. I will put up my specs on the screen if you guys are interested, and then I'll also do, like, some B-roll of just, like, what my setup looks like and everything. I wanted to go for, like, a very, like, white theme, and everything's basically white except for my monitor. But that's, like, whatever. I don't really care about that. I saw a movie in theaters for the first time since early 2020. Last time I saw a movie was either Underwater or The Invisible Man. But either way, that was both, like, January, a little bit of February of 2020. I saw Jurassic World, and I don't care about the plot. All I know is that I like dinosaurs. I went to the zoo for the first time in a long time. Played some Pokemon Go there. I guess it's just, like, a summer thing that I'm gonna do. Playing Pokemon Go in the winter's not fun, but in the summertime it is. That was also my first time, like, downloading it and playing it. I went hiking at Devil's Lake, which is this state park, mountainy kind of thing. It was fun until it rained. I was wearing Doc Martens, not like the boot kind, but like the canvas kind. Trying to scale the side of a fucking mountain. I didn't think I had to do this, by the way. That's why I wore those shoes. But having to scale the side of a mountain that's rocky, not wearing any sort of, like, protective gear, okay? Maybe if I had a helmet, I would feel a little bit better. Scaling that while you're wearing shoes that are very fucking slippery and stepping on wet rocks was not fun. We got, like, lost at one point because the trail markers and everything was just very confusing. And then, of course, there's, like, little, like, man-made trails and everything. At one point, we start, like, going down this fucking hill, and I'm like, dude, I don't think this is the right way. I started, like, freaking out because, like, bitch, I was exhausted, I was hungry, I needed water, which I had all those things. Either way, I was starting to get visions in my head of, oh my god, we're gonna get lost in these woods, and then the wrong turn cannibals are gonna come out and fucking kill us. And I was just like, I don't want to get, like, fucking, like, turned around here. We don't have service. I was walking in one direction. I was like, I'm gonna go back up the hill and get the fuck out of here. So I start walking up the hill, exhausted. I see one person, and I'm like, okay, good. Civilization. Fucking sprint up that goddamn hill so fast, scratched up my fucking knees. like gagging and like hyperventilating because I was so fucking tired. Oh, I went to State Fair. I won that little like sky lift thing that I never went on before. You wanna fight? No? You have an eye booger. It's really gross. Wait, stop smelling my breath. I'm trying to think of like anything else significant that I might have done last year. I think that's it for the most part. And then, you know, January was the worst year of my life. I'm not going to talk about this often because I have realized that because I grew up on the internet and because I always had internet friends, you know, always on Tumblr, I very much like to overshare, which for me isn't a bad thing just because I am a very like open person. I don't really care like who knows what about me. But I am also kind of trying to like scale back on that because yeah, I have a problem with oversharing on the internet. And you know, some people have boundaries with that. I don't. But January was just a bad month because boyfriend and I broke up, then we got back together, and then we broke up again. How things are right now, I'm not gonna say anything because who knows how things are. I do, but nobody else does. And that's kind of the way that I want to keep it because as much as I love using like the internet as my diary, I probably shouldn't do that. At least not with like personal relationship things like that because it is kind of like embarrassing. And it's just not a thing I should do. How are things now? Alright, if you ask me how I am this month compared to how I was last February when all these symptoms started happening, if last year I was at 100, right now I'm at like a 25%. Pretty good. Definitely I'm at a point in my life where, like I said, I'm not happy, I'm not content with it, I've just kind of accepted it, that these chronic issues are probably going to be a part of me until I die. And you know, I'm at like 2/3 out of I'll say like 5 to 6 different like things that I could do to possibly help symptoms. So, you know, there's still like a little bit of hope, but I'm just kind of like, you know, I can't keep stalling things in my life. Where am I right now? Weird. Definitely a very weird point in my life. I think I'm doing better. Like I said, I started therapy. I had my first session yesterday, which I think went like really well. I'm currently seeing like 3 of them, and not because I feel like I need to talk to 3 people, but I just want to kind of see like different options, who I click with the most, whatever. Been hanging out with friends again, which is good and fun. I worked out. Granted, it was a 15-minute walk on the treadmill, but it's more than I've done in a fucking year. And yeah, I have my last procedure tomorrow, and then I'm going to take like a 1-ish month break, and then move on to see like if I need to do anything else or just how things are. Still in physical therapy, but I do that like every like 6 weeks now. Yeah, I want to try to get back to doing YouTube again. I would like to start like streaming and doing those things, but that streaming requires a lot of fucking research, and I also just like don't know what I would stream. Because here's the thing, I like playing video games. I'm fucking awful at them. I didn't start like PC gaming until I started dating my boyfriend, and even still, it was like the only time I ever did it was like when we would hang out and then he'd bring his laptop and I just play stuff like that. I grew up with a fucking controller, so I'm just, the hand-eye coordination thing, just, it still hasn't clicked, and I don't know why. Because, you know, I've had my computer for, I think we built it in like July. So I've had it for like 7-ish months, 7, 8 months. I still just, it's whatever, but it's more so like, if I'm playing a game and like inventory is I and build is B, I'm talking about the forest. And I'll be like, oh, I need to go to my inventory. I press B. I'm like, no, that's not fucking it. And then I'll press escape, and I'm like, no, you don't press that. It's just dumb things like that. The hand-eye coordination is still just like wrong. I'll still be playing a game and I'll be like, what's happening? What's going on? Where is that coming from? So yeah, I'm not good at playing games, but I do like it. That is everything that I can remember that has happened in the last year. That is why I haven't posted anything, and that is why I'm trying to change that. Now, this isn't like a coming back video or anything. I could post this and disappear for another year. Who fucking knows? I don't, because sometimes shit happens in your life that you just don't plan for and that you did not foresee coming at all. Hopefully that gives some sort of insight and explanation as to why I've just fallen off the face of the planet. It was just things out of my control and things that I tried desperately to fix, but I can't help how long it took for appointments to happen and how long it took for my body to try to start healing and figure out what the fuck's going on. And that's all I have to say, I think. Thank you so much for watching and watching me do literally 20% of my makeup and eat oatmeal while I talk about my trauma. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.